Go.
Hello and alrighty, welcome back everybody to FTLG Marathon. For the love of gaming, I will be your host. My name is Meta. I'll be here for the next couple of hours. Tempest, take it away.
Hello, everybody. My name is TempestMask1000, and it's nice to be back here at For the Love of Gaming. For those that don't know me, you may know that I've done a little bit of hosting last time, as well as maybe a run or two myself. This game is definitely a little something different compared to what I did with, I believe it was Mega Man with the arcade games. This time we're doing a spiritual successor project that was from one of the longtime former directors or producers and artists, Keiji Inafune, and this is called Mighty Number 9. Some of you may know that this was supposed to be a very hype project. It was backed on Kickstarter back in its heyday for at least $4 million. Unfortunately, due to a series of developmental delays and all other things, we all know that this game didn't necessarily hit the marks that it was hoping to, and also seems to be missing a 3DS and PS Vita port to this day, but we still love it. I know I appreciate it for what it is, and so does my commentator, Ipe Hopue, or as I call him, JP. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Runner of this game, mainly any percents. I've never touched this, but I still know enough of the game, I think, so I can commentate something.
Particularly, JP is actually the any percent and any percent hard world record holders, so it's always good to have you on board, my dude. And you're just a wonderful runner altogether. So yeah.
Well, thank you.
No problem. But before we get this run started, I would like to give a quick shout out because some of you may know that voice actor Yuri Lowenthal, who is actually the English voice for Beck, and for that reason, I'm actually going to set the voices to English for this very reason. But let's wait as the game tries to load it. Basically, the idea is Yuri has submitted a couple of prints to some raffle prizes, and I would very much love to thank him for doing that. That was very kind of him. Shout out to Corey for reaching out to him. We'll probably get back to thanking him a little later. We should probably explain the category, though. So we're going to what's called X mode, and in this, you have challenges with both solo, co-op, boss rush. There's an online mode. We don't worry about the online race mode. This category is something I made up back in 2021, though, and it's called Challenge Solo Trials 1 to 26. Why 1 to 26? Well, 24 to 36 is you just doing time attack throughout the entire game stages with one life, and the last one is the entire game with one life, so that's not marathon safe. But with that said, I'm ready to rock and roll. JP, how about you?
Let's go.
All right, Meta, would you like to do the countdown?
Sure thing. All right, let's get it going. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Let's go. All right, so Mighty Number 9, as mentioned, is a spiritual successor to Mega Man of sorts, but it has a few of its own mechanics that it tried to be a bit unique about. We're not going to see them immediately, though, because this first couple or few series of challenges specifically limits your ability to shoot and dash. I don't know why they did that, really, but it's just a thing they wanted to do to like test the players and their ability to do the basic functions of the game, I suppose. So what we're doing is we're collecting these green power-ups. They're called Zell blocks, and this one in particular simulates the speed power-up that you'll find in the main game as well. And what it does is it just makes Beck's movement speed a little more faster for what it is. That was the first one, though, and we're going to do that again, except this time with climbing. So one of the features that Beck has is he can hold on to ledges, and sometimes the game likes to use this in the main level design. You can also hold up to roll up to a ledge, which actually gives you a little invincibility frames or so, but you also got to wait for the animation to complete just a little, too, you know what I'm saying? JP, though, you could, would you like to explain a few other details about Mighty Number 9?
Yeah, definitely. Well, here we see the green bonus. In the regular game, you'll see more of the red and yellow ones. The red one gives your weapon more power, and it also uses less weapon energy. And yellow one is the defense boost for Beck. There's also a blue one, which is a kind of that you have to collect 10 times or something like that, and then you get a E-Tank equivalent for those who have played Mega Man games. It restores Beck's life instantly to full, no matter how low it is. And usually in the regular game, you shoot your enemies, then dash into them to gain these power-ups, because this game's combat mechanic is a little bit different. So the game wants you to shoot your enemies a couple of times, they will stun and start leaking a color. Well, and the color pretty much dictates the bonus you're gonna get. But anyway, once the enemy is stunned, you dash into those enemies and absorb them. And that is the quickest way to destroy them or to get rid of them. You can also shoot most enemies other than the bosses, but that's usually slower. So your best pick is gonna be dashing into them.
Pretty much. The idea is that some weapons can dispatch of enemies faster, but we don't necessarily have much choice here because, again, this is not any percent. This is actually using a bunch of missions that you have to play the main story in order to unlock. Something that I didn't expect this game to do. Not a lot of games do that as of late, so it was actually kind of something I thought was an interesting incentive of sort to play the main game, if you will. The boss rush, too, because you actually get that by beating the game, meaning that there's actually no boss rush in the main game. A little unheard of for a Mega Man type, but hey, works for me.
Something different, a little bit fresh air.
Very much so. And speaking of something else that's different, here's a little something that we see in a more of a crossover fighting game. JP?
Well, if you've ever played something or a little game called Super Smash Brothers, you might have noticed a little game mod called Break the Targets. Yeah, you can probably see some similarities here. So the big question is, will Beck be playable in the next Smash Bros game? A couple of years later, we can say no. The answer is definitely not. Unless someone modded him on top of Mega Man, that would be hilarious. But I don't know.
Very likely, very likely.
Very likely. I want to see them.
But yeah, so keep an eye on that little stage layout for breaking the targets in just a bit, because we'll probably get back to breaking some more targets. And there's a bit of a pattern that this challenge mode likes to do for some strange reason or another. Here's 100% combo, and JP, what's the logistics behind this one?
I was talking about absorbing your enemies, and here it's pretty much one of the things that also happens. If you stun the enemy, like Tempest does here, shooting and they start leaking color, and you quickly dash into them, absorbing them almost immediately, you will get more points and this 100% thing. And the combo rate goes lower the more time you spend after the enemy has been stunned.
That last tick, I was afraid wasn't... I was afraid of that last tick because it wasn't dropping down from the ceiling. I was like, what are you doing? But I think it is...
He was messing with you.
Yeah. I think actually it has to... I just remembered, I think it has to do with Beck having to move under the dang thing, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Most likely he wants to jump on you. Also, here's a wonderful level, and one of the wonderful things in this game. These magenta or something looking objects are insta-kill objects, and if Beck touches them, it's instantly lose a life. Go back to beginning. And this game likes to throw them a lot, so...
why did I run into that one?
Oh no! Yeah, as you see, they are nice. And there are plenty of those. I think Cryo Stage says that they are like malfunctioning purification things or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, in some cases they actually give a little bit of a lore or in-level excuse behind that. I didn't mean to touch that, by the way. So there's another function about this game that we didn't mention yet about the dashing, and that's duck dashing. So when you hold down and you do the acceleration, or acceleration as the game calls it, you can actually crawl under, or not crawl, but just go under tighter spaces. I'm having really bad luck with this one. This is not something that usually happens a lot during my runs whenever I do this.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah, that's whatever. Let's just try that again. The idea though is how do I put this? Actually, no, the fact I'm getting a bit distracted by this one. JP, you can you do that for me?
Yeah, concentrate. Well, yeah. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty tight. Fun fact actually about these little magenta things is that Tempest mentioned about invincibility. You can get invincibility for this game using a glitch. But we'll see later more about that later. But these don't care about your invincibility. They will snipe you no matter what if you just happen to touch them. They just it has the Mega Man 1 syndrome, or you could call it that, where no matter what, spikes will always get to you. So yeah, now looking good. And now we have this kind of vertical section with these, and concentrating here is really nice. Going hastily will get you.
Almost had that one. All right, let's keep going. Yeah. If worst comes to worst, if I have to invalidate the run by skipping one of the trials, I will.
Yeah.
I will mention that this category is not technically officially part of the leaderboard yet, so therefore it's kind of semi-official, meaning that whether I do get a valid run or not is totally no issue whatsoever. But when this game likes to bully me, this game likes to bully me, and that can be said for just, you know, those instant kill trap reasons. I'm pretty sure that with the whole challenge mode itself, the idea is that it was one of the stretch goals met from the Kickstarter, which, by the way, the devs or the backing team or the fundraiser team basically started adding in quite a bit of those when they started realizing, holy heck, we have all this money, what are we supposed to do now? Okay. Oh, come on, I almost had that. Ah. Oh, well, I'll keep going.
Yeah. You'll get it. Just concentrate.
I will.
Okay, yeah. Also, the duck dash was discussed, and it's a funny little thing that you're supposed to kind of hold down the dash button.
Yeah.
And if you don't, Peck will just pop his head on no matter what. Only times you don't have to hold it is if the thing you're going under is not lethal to you, then Peck will just nicely go underneath. But if it's like one of the traps here, Peck will just die instantly. There is no cure. And it's that.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah. Back here.
I'm not going to dash this time around. I was hoping to go fast, but going fast kind of punished me, so I'll just have to play it safe and then sorry. There we go, though.
Nice.
All right.
Sometimes it's a good bet. Let's continue.
Yes, let's indeed. So what comes next after those set of challenges is a series of trials that involve using the mighty number abilities. So like most Mega Man games or Mega Man likes have weapons that you acquire as you progress through the game, namely when you have like a series of 8 or so bosses and stuff. And this game is no different. There are the 8 mighty numbers. Beck is mighty number 9 himself. The idea is that he acquires abilities from his siblings, and when you've beaten those levels, you get these dedicated challenges based on those powers. So the first one is a Break the Targets level for Pyrogen, mighty number 1. And if you've played Mega Man X7, you set the voices to Japanese, the funny part about Pyro is that his VA happens to be the guy who did Flame Hynard of X7. So I think that was a reference that someone on the team purposely decided to do, and if they did, well, good on them, because I think that just connected to one of the most infamous jokes that most people often think about.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So then we have Cryosphere's ability. By the way, Pyro's weapon, real quick, that's just charge up firepower and then released it in a combustible explosion. So Cryo's weapon, on the other hand, is you shoot these downward arcing ice shots that freeze enemies. And I do mean freeze because the idea is if they're not weakened, they do slow down a bit. It can be helpful.
And take damage.
Oh yeah, they do.
Constantly.
That's right. There is chip damage that happens too.
Yeah.
So one of the nice things about it is that it does, as you were seeing there, it goes through walls, but it can't necessarily be aimed, so that is one of the downsides behind it, really. I personally wish there was like a little bit more that could have helped with this weapon, because it is like one of my least favorites for that reason, but it really does have some uses in the run that, at the same time, I can't help but respect it for that at the very least.
Yeah.
Next is Dynatron, and JP, I'll pass this one over to you.
Yeah. First, as you can see, that during these challenges, on top of Beck's head, there is the red power-up. For all these challenges, you will have the weapon power-up boost for the entirety, so you don't have to worry about ammo that much, and you also get the more powerful versions of the weapons. But yeah, Dano's weapon is a... You shoot like a couple of those, 6? I have never counted those. You shoot a couple of pellets, and whenever they attach to something like enemy or whatever that can be destroyed, Beck's little horn will start shooting energy or electricity more likely and destroy the target or damage it as long as a couple of seconds, I think.
More or less. It depends on how far or close you are to it, and it sort of has to connect that way.
Also, if it's connected to an enemy, you can absorb it from afar. You don't have to be close.
Right.
This is nice. And next one is Make. This is a kind of... You become a tractor, or you get treads, and you will be constantly moving, and you also gain a lot of speed. This weapon is kind of funny, because if you first hit an enemy, they will be stunned, and if you bump into them from the side, with most enemies at least, I think it kind of pushes them away, using them as a projectile of sorts.
It's a very unique weapon for that, and probably one of the reasons why one of our friends, Mr. Cab55, loves it so much. One of the reasons I personally appreciate is that I did recently discover you can actually keep the treads active while Beck does a dash, which really helps for mobility, which was one of my problems otherwise.
Yeah. And later on we'll see other kind of uses that has or abilities,
right.
Probably.
It's also one of the challenges that can be a bit trickier, though, on its own, which we'll talk about that when we do, but yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, next up is pretty much the metal blade from Mega Man 2 of this game. A all-around weapon that will immediately replace the lemon in the regular game, and that's Rocket. It uses very little ammo, has high area of effect explosion once you explode it, and you can explode it on command, so you can shoot it and then in mid-air you just blow it up whenever you want. There are also a couple of ones like the Pirate Man's weapon in Rockman 4 that are kind of similar, but this has more speed, I feel.
Yeah, no, the remote mine, basically. Yeah, that's,
remote mine, yeah.
That's a very good comparison. I also like to compare it to the Flash Bomb from Grenade Man of Mega Man 8 fame.
Yeah. I haven't played Mega Man 8 in a while.
It's definitely been a while for me too, but it's quite a sentimental one for sure.
Yeah. Also, Avi's weapon is a fun one. You can use it as a projectile, throwing this kind of boomerang that goes zigzag all around. And you can also use it to kind of fidget spinner it above Beck's head, giving you a higher jump and a slower descent. So it's a all-around weapon that can be used for movement stuff and as a weapon. And it's also having a nice little glitch where once you throw it, you can call it back by using the shoot button, but if you switch your weapons after throwing one and then back to Avi, you can have another one thrown instead of calling the first one back, so you can have multiple of those on screen.
Honestly, not sure why you went with fidget spinner there, but that was probably the funniest thing I've heard you say yet, man.
I don't know, I was lost for words and that was the first thing that came to mind. It probably tells something about me. Anyway, Brand's weapon, the Zero type of thing.
Yes.
You have a sword, which you can use to swing stuff. And it doesn't use weapon energy if used just with the regular mash. But you have these two charge attacks, so... One is where Beck just slashes everywhere and gets confused afterwards. And that's not that useful usually. And then there's this little downward slash, which you can do from air.
It's one of the reasons why
Beck will come down with a huge sword, and it's a very good damage dealer in a couple of places.
And it's one of the reasons why I preferably go to the right side of the stage when I'm using Brand for that very reason. It's just one of those little faster ways of doing things that it's just so obvious.
And it feels good.
Oh, it feels very good. It feels very good.
And the last, but, well, not least, is Counter Shade's weapon, which is a high-power sniper that uses a lot of ammo per shot. And its gimmick is that it's supposed to ricochet off the walls to the enemies and deal damage that way. But the bullets have the mind of their own usually, and the ricochet is not that dependable. Let's hope we don't get to see that in action.
Yeah, well, basically what he's talking about is that a certain type of collision can potentially eat up the bouncing bullet shot, and I would assume that's partially because of how the challenge mode rooms with their solids were sort of put together. So this game was made in Unreal Engine, and it was an older version of it, if I'm not mistaken. So before Unreal Engine 4, I think. But the idea... Huh?
I think it was 3.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But the idea is that the developers who are Inti Creates, best known for Blaster Master Zero, Dragon Marked for Death, and Ezra Striker Gunvolt. Oh, and Galgun, if you want to count that too. Basically, I think it's the way they ended up having to put this together. And yes, Inti Creates is usually more of a 2D e-game developer, so I can understand that not everything about this game is polished perfectly. Still very much respect to Inti Creates. I love a lot of the stuff that they tend to put out. And one of their most recently released games was Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X2, so congrats on the release, guys. But otherwise, that was a pyro challenge where I had to survive. I couldn't move. I could only just turn left or right. Not like that really did much, but I had to use Pyro's explosion to destroy the enemies. And now coming up is one of the ones that I tend to fear tackling and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So Cryo's challenge.
Yeah. It's the one that has the frozen kind of weapon, and you can do nothing but jump and shoot. You don't have the dash, you got nothing. And there are these mines. If you look at Beck's health on the upper left corner, you will see that Beck's not doing too hot. So one explosion and Beck's a goner.
Just like that.
What you want to do? Yeah. What you want to do is freeze the mines, preventing them from exploding immediately, but they won't stay frozen forever. They take like a couple of seconds and then they will melt and explode. So what you want to do is freeze the mine and walk over it and forget about that mine.
Pretty much.
For the most part. Yeah. Usually it's that.
Now, normally I take this stage carefully, but there's actually a trick that I'm going to do. But for the safety's sake, I'm actually going to let this one explode, because I don't want to slip up like I just did there. Hang on. There we go. So what I just did there was I activated the mine's explosion by just simply tiptoeing it to it and then just quickly jumping out of the way. I figure that's a little more, it can be a bit faster anyway, as compared to just trying to freeze the mine going from right to left and just trying to hang tight and stuff. Oh, this can't be good. Well, I wasn't hitting that mine for some reason, and I was getting very afraid of the other platform right there. It's okay. I'll still keep going, though. But how about we pass it on over to our host? So, Meta, and got anything to say?
Absolutely, thank you. And by the way, this run is fantastic. This is very cool.
Oh, thank you.
We did get one donation coming in. Apparently, I have a clone that I did not know about, because this donation is from Meta Live, who donated $5 and said, "All right, here, give me 1 sec. I gotta pull out a voice from within here." Ooh, Poggy Woggies, my toggy doggies, so speedy wheelie. Fortnite Battle Pass, Fortnite Chug Chug, Thanos car. Thank you to my clone for donating $5. Very generous. Remember that this is all going to Haven House, who offers a range of support to meet the well-being needs of individuals and families. This includes social opportunities for families to come together and meet others, for example, at sibling activity days and coffee mornings. Haven House also offers a 24-hour advice line, emotional and practical support, dad's group meetups, family days, and bereavement support. So please get your donations in, everybody. Fantastic. Back to you, Tempest.
Oh, thank you, man. And I totally could see the chat message when that donation came up, and I was like, oh dear, what the heck is this? I was smirking for that very reason. I'm like, yeah, you swear it wasn't you, right?
That was not me. I promise.
Oh,
I think I have some friends at home who are pulling a prank, but that's, you know what? That's okay. It's for the better of charity.
It is for the better of charity. I'm gonna definitely remember that one for a while, though. Sadly. All right.
Sad though.
It's probably not. It's all in good fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah, of course I'm having a little bit of trouble with this level. No surprise there, but you know what? I'm honestly, if I was able to take care of one of the other dastardly ones earlier, that eventually, then I might as well just give it a try, because the problem with the end of the stage is that the platforming is so tight that it was no wonder I missed it. I'm pretty sure the idea is that I have to get Beck's feet as close to the edge as possible before I make the jump. It's not fun. It's totally understandable as to why probably not a lot of people care for much for the challenge mode. That's actually one of the reasons, though, why I made this category in the first place, because I wanted to sort of, yes, thank you. I wanted to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, with something that wasn't really used, and just make it its own category. Other speedrun communities do that with stuff like Shovel Knight and all that stuff, so why not here?
Definitely.
All right, so here we got a survival challenge. I'm just going to leave this one up to JP, because this one's a bit more dedicated than Cryo, I would argue.
Yeah, once again, Beck's not feeling too hot, and you're supposed to survive for a minute with this weapon, and these guys aren't that bad, but later on we'll see those sticks get back, and considering how small targets they are, this weapon is not that useful against them. And the movement they do is really ridiculous sometimes. It's not that easy to predict or dodge. And since they're fast little buggers, yeah. And they of course deal enough damage to make Beck feel bad.
Basically, it's the Thanos snap personified in cyber form. Dang it!
Yeah.
Just like that.
Oh.
I guess the game did not like Marvel.
Yeah.
But does it like Marvel vs. Capcom 2? If so, I'll take it for a ride.
Yeah. And also, every time you lose, it's 60 seconds. It's 60 seconds no matter what. No matter how much of these enemies you destroy, it's gonna be 60.
Yeah,
There's no way to make this faster, there's no way to make this slower other than dying, of course, but...
I thought you meant the timer, but honestly, I was like... I thought you meant the loading time, not the timer, but yeah, no. I was like, wait, this game has sometimes some abysmal loading times, but not that bad. Okay, maybe
yeah,
maybe if it's the Wii U or PlayStation 3, though. Maybe if it's that.
Oh!
Because this game did come out for last-gen consoles, so basically we have the Wii U, the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and then Steam, which is probably the fastest version, or most stable, in air quotes, version of the game. Certainly one that most runners prefer, but there's definitely nothing wrong with running on the PlayStation 4, and Xbox isn't as bad. The reason I use it is because, of course, that's just the console I happen to have. I do have the PC version, but at the moment, current technical limitations, let's just put it that way, kind of prevent me from putting that to use, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that Dyna Stage is giving me a little bit of trouble here, but the fact that I'm pushing through honestly makes me feel good about it.
Yeah, keep going.
I'll do my best. Hey, that's a Charmy sound from Sonic Heroes. I'll do my best. Oh wait, no, isn't that?
Oh no.
Wait, no,
These
that's.
guys.
Yes.
Nice.
Actually, it's Cream the Rabbit. Now that I think about it.
Yeah. I am not on top with my Sonic. I know 06 and that's it, pretty much.
06 is actually a pretty good speed game. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably do it someday.
Me too. I'm very much planning on it. Shout out to the 06 community. So here we have Seismic's dedicated challenge. And this is where JP alluded to a certain extra feature of sorts that we don't normally see in the gameplay. And that's that this game basically has Mick's ability work a little like Mario jumping, or Kaizo Mario jumping. The idea being you hold the jump button when you bounce on an enemy and your jump actually goes a bit higher. So this challenge actually teaches you how to do that, because I'm pretty sure not a lot of people would know that from the forefront. Unfortunately, I can't dash, so whenever I miss something, I'm going to have to restart, because that's the thing. I forgot to mention that the game over screen takes just a little bit more time than restarting, just going to the pause menu and restarting the stage, so... Unfortunately, the moments that I did get all of those game overs were things that I just couldn't help it because I didn't think I was going to be in danger. But here, at least I have a bit more of a window of opportunity, if you will.
Yeah.
It's funny, though,
like Go ahead.
No, you can go first.
I was just about to say that this becomes like an auto-run Mario with this, and it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, I had to reset there because one of the bad things about Mighty Number 9 is the enemies don't respawn, unlike Mega Man. So if I mess that up, then there's nothing I can do about that.
Also, you have enough time in the world. You're doing this like regularly. 999 seconds is gonna be plenty for this challenge.
And it's not the last. Yeah, and it's not the last time we're seeing that here. But
I have no idea why some of these have this limit. Like, well, technically some of them are time-based anyway, so 999 in Dinah's challenge would
honestly,
be...
Oh wait, sorry, what you were saying?
I was just about to say that 999 seconds in Dinah's challenge would be wonderful.
Yeah, that would be hell. But, hey, we got a bit of time to burn if I have to wait things out. And speaking of time, I think it's a wonderful time for passing it back to our host.
All right, yes, we did get another donation in. It seems people would like me to do impressions today. So we have a donation, a £5 donation from Lightning McQueen. Very generous, thank you. And Lightning McQueen says, "Hey, it's Lightning McQueen from Disney Pixar 2006 movie Cars. Ka-chow! I wanted to drive by and remind you to keep it speedy-weedy. Ka-chow!"
Okay, whoever's pulling the prank on you obviously is doing it all in good fun, because this meme is turning into an even bigger meme now. I swear, if somebody does Shrek, that's gonna make my day.
Oh.
I'm calling you out on that one, chat. Somebody do it. I dare you.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, Meta. It's for charity.
Also, here we have the Bats challenge. That's more of a puzzle. You have 6 rockets, I believe. Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah, 6 shots. You have to end it in 6 shots.
And destroy all the enemies. And there's pretty much no room for error here.
This was great though, because that was a first try right there. Sometimes I have to reset that, but that was really good.
That was really good. Yeah. You can jump off the ladder anyway, by the way.
Yeah, you can't jump. The game keeps you on it until you like fail or until you clear the mission, as you saw at the end.
Yeah. And now it's time for the Avis challenge, and here you use more of the height gaining potential that this weapon has to climb this little thing. Whatever you want to call it. And one funny thing also is that you can use Avi's weapon as an umbrella for those fireballs and other projectiles that can come over Beck's head, so it's a really useful tool. And once again we have the 999 seconds available here, so take your time.
Well, I would if this wasn't a speed run.
Yeah.
Speaking of time, actually, could I ask how we're doing on the timer right now?
Doing pretty
30?
good. You're at 30 minutes and 11 seconds.
Oh, that's... Okay, then I'm going to have to speed things up a little bit because we are actually edging the estimate. I did put in for 39 minutes because, well, normally when things go well, it's smooth like butter, but sometimes I also account for the idea that some challenges I might have to repeat a couple of times. But the amount of times I had to repeat Proceed with Caution and Cryo's challenge really worked against me there, so unfortunate, but hey, that's just how it goes. Just like this one, another survival challenge.
Yeah, you have branch weapon, and one thing that branch weapon can do is deflect bullets, and you have to use that until time runs out. So, at least you're not at 1 health this time. You can take some damage, not too much, but still something. And more enemies spawn as the time goes on. You could also use the charge / everywhere and become confused thing here, but not really useful. I don't think it's that useful here. But you can, it's an option. Since you can't move, you can only turn around.
Yeah, and that's the problem too, because I'm not getting all the shots here, and man, I'm just... This game really wants me to feel worried today. So you, if you noticed that some of the missions on the select screen show your best time or in some cases your best high score, you might have noticed that this one was the latter case, and you're thinking to yourself, well, how exactly are you supposed to get points? You do so by having more health by the end of the timer, or you got to use the charged up spin slash to deflect some of the bullets. It's not that useful, though, and really, I could care less about score during this particular speedrun, so... Not necessarily my concern here, but here's Shade's challenge, and we're already seeing some of the cases of how the collision is eating up some of the bullets. You hear the like that, basically. Excuse me. And I just felt like recreating the sound for the heck of it, but the idea is when the bullet gets stuck, well, bullet go burr and then disappear. That was actually not a bad thought right there. That backwards jump shot I just did as an improv, that's the action shift though, and when you hold that button down and then shoot or jump, that does like a backwards flip. It's a really cool looking move. It doesn't always have that much use. It can be a bit particular, but well, it also happens to have a fairly important purpose to the main speedrun. We'll explain that soon though. I'm really having a hard time aiming at this enemy though.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's weapon.
You were saying, sorry?
Not that much. Actually, fun thing is that since you have the power-ups here also, it's a really good thing for Shade's weapon, because normally you could only shoot 3 shots, then you'd have to wait a couple of seconds when the weapon energy recharges, and then you could shoot another shot. Since in this game, weapon energy is gained from health pickups and over time. It does rather slowly recharge, but yeah. And also by absorbing enemies, which makes it an even more important tool for the game.
That's actually one of the other things I like about Mighty Number 9, the fact that they don't throw weapon refill pickups, and that's how it works instead. It's actually kind of convenient that way. All right. Trial number 23. This will be the last mission. It's time to get going. We got everything at our disposal, all the reselections, and this is where we get to show off the main speedrun's special little glitch called the iframe glitch. So it just so happens that the action shift jump, regardless of which one you do, has a couple of starting iframes, and guess what? The game actually keeps those iframes if it gets interrupted, so we're gonna actually show the more the easier method of doing this a little bit further down the stage, but there are 2 ones that I generally define as BTJ, Box Destruction Jump, not to be confused with Super Mario 64's BLJ, and then the Conveyor Jump, which if I do this, hang on, there we go, I think that worked, yep, I can just pass through enemies until the iframes get interrupted, whether by an action that uses iframes, or if a cutscene happens. So basically, anything that removes the iframes will remove the glitch until I do it again.
Almost most insta-kill stuff will destroy back anyway, like the spikes, as discussed, and getting crushed also. If that thing is like part of a level or would kill back immediately, then you get crushed. If it's a box or something, you don't get anything.
Dang, I was almost there.
Also, switching weapons, yeah, it also...
Right, and that's the problem too, because they forced another series of Mick jumps in there, so sadly, that's kind of a mandatory thing, despite how unoptimal that might be.
Final Mario.
Final Mario, indeed. But time will, we will stop the time once I hit that final goal, so get ready on time.
Absolutely, I'm ready.
Oh yeah. Come on. Let me through, y'all.
Oh!
It's okay, no problem, no problem. It's not the worst thing.
Looks scary.
It did, because the thing about the ice is that when Beck does get frozen, it's hard to get out and stuff. And well, with the set of with the danger zone not too far away, you kind of got yourself a bad deal.
Yeah.
All right, come on, come on. You also notice that when I'm going up the ladder, I'm particularly releasing it, like I'm doing a rhythmic jump and then latch back on sort of motion. That's a faster way of climbing than the standard way. It takes a little getting used to have it figured out, but once you do, it's a pretty nice trick to have.
Yeah. It's really wonderful.
All right, there we go. Just a little bit further. Hopefully nothing hits me there. And time.
Very nice.
That's a valid run, folks.
Let's go.
So if you're curious, your final time was a 36:39.
Ah, a little bit over the estimate, but you know what? That's not the worst case scenario at all.
Not too bad, not too bad. Very nice.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you everyone for having me. It's always nice to show off this game. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why Corey and the review team decided to pick this one over any percent, but hey, if it was kind of faster, so you know what? I totally get it. Gotta go fast in a speed run. Let's do it that way. But hopefully next time I'll be able to show off the story, because it's something of its own treat, I guess you could say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with that said, JP, where can everybody find you?
Well, I'm using this same name on Twitch pretty much, so if you want to see games being run, that's one place.
That's totally fair. As for me, I also go by TempestMask1000 here on Twitch. So basically, you can just follow me there, but it's totally optional. I appreciate y'all being here all the same, though, and of course, to be fair, my streaming schedule isn't really steady, because gee whiz, I sure haven't streamed all year yet. Jokes aside, though. Basically, that's, you know, I just really enjoy speedrunning for what it is, and I'm glad that FTLG was able to have me for the one and only event that I got to do this month, so yay me. But with that said, again, a very special thank you to Yuri Lowenthal, Beck's English voice actor, for providing those prints. Yuri, I hope we'll be able to collab sometime in the future, regardless of what it might be. You rock, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Well wishes to your family as well. And with that, also, I would like to give a quick shout out to Kamikaze Kitten X. I believe she was doing commentary for Peralt's Resident Evil 7 run, who was actually the previous host when I last did this run and challenge, this challenge category. So, hey, Kami. With that said, though, if you'd like to join our community, we have a Discord link that you can find on the mighty9speedrun.com page. We love to have people there. It's not that huge, so any guests are more than welcome by us. And, yeah, if you want to pick up this game, there are quite a few options. I'd still recommend Xbox One, PS4, or Steam. But, yeah, this game can be pretty fun to do, so, hey, give it a try if you're willing. My only recommendation is get it on sale. Please get it on sale. Corey, thank you for having me, man. It's been a pleasure, and with that said, we'll pass it on back to the next run. So enjoy the rest of the marathon, everyone, and until next time, ciao, Michi.
Thank you so much for being here.
Time is more precious in these situations because you know you don't have a lot of it.
Initially, you don't know if there is time. If there is time, how much time?
We have to make every moment count, really. Every minute, every breath.
Our life is tough.
It's difficult to go away from the sadness.
And sometimes it feels like I'm not able to cope.
Each family is very unique, so the support that we offer is really based around choice.
We're led by them, really, and it's important that we are here and able to listen to what they need.
Haven House are there for every time. They've been there for all the highs and all the lows.
I help Mummy with the cooking.
Wow.
Just having that respite care and knowing that we can regularly come here, I can't tell you how amazing that is.
Without them, I think I would probably feel depressed and guilty as a mother and a bit more worthless.
They've enabled us to see the whole picture and not be scared of it.
They're always there for you and they're always there to support you.
We all now understand more and cope better because we know there's a support network in Haven House.
Every hour of care counts to families, and every hour of fundraising means we can continue to be here for them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to help families through unimaginable times or to help them smile again.